Hey there guys, my name is Gracie. Welcome back to my channel. So today I would like to do another story time on how I got gang stalked by my professor at York University. Um, he did try to put me under hypnosis, and then um, he also initiated gang stalking on me on my way out. So, so here goes the story. I was writing an exam, and I was late for that exam. So I arrived at an exam, and that was at York University. So I entered the room, and so I'm 10 minutes late, about 10 minutes late. People are seated and they're writing the exam, and then him and so this professor, Professor Sabin, and his black assistant, he has this tall Jamaican lady, dark skinned lady who he works with. That's the lady who teaches him how to gang stalk and harass people, use hypnosis on people. They were like, okay, come sit in the front. Like there was an empty seat right next to a white girl. So I went there, and I pull out the seat, and I sit there. They give me my paper, and I pull out my pencil from my bag, and I start to circle my answers. And about 45 minutes later, my intuition is like, look up. And I look up, and I see Professor Serbin and his assistant standing right in front of me, just looking at me like this, focused on me. Focused. When I'm saying focused, I'm like, this is a little weird. Are they looking at my crystals? So I'm like, because I was wearing crystals on me, right? Like bracelets, crystal bracelets, and necklaces. So I'm like, and cover it up, like, and they're still looking at me, focused on me. Guys, I blacked out in like, I don't know how many, like, in seconds, I was gone. I don't know how long I was gone, but when I came back to normal, because everything went black. When I came back to normal, I kind of had like this headache, and I wasn't able to recall anything that I'd read before the exam, right? And I'm like, what just happened? I can't. I was sitting there for 5 minutes thinking about what just happened. Why am I not able to recall any of the information that I studied? And I'm looking at my answer sheet. I kept going back and forth, looking at my questionnaire, my answer sheet over and over and over. And I'm like, wait. Where am I? Why does it say questionnaire? It's like, okay, I haven't turned it yet, but I circled all the way to number 60. Because it's like, I think it's like one question. The first part of the questionnaire was 1 to 50. And I hadn't turned it. But yet the answer sheet, I had circled past, I think it was 60, or I had reached 70. And I look at the questionnaires, and so I was confused because I'm like, what just happened? Like, so my memory starts to come back. And I start to look at the questions and look at the answers, and I circled all the wrong answers, guys. All the wrong, like, I'm like, I think it was from number 40 to number 50, or number 40 to number 60, or something like that. All the wrong answers. So the whole time, that time that I blacked out, I was actually circling all the wrong answers, right? And then I'm like, what the hell? Like, so I start to erase those answers, and I start to go back to questions, the questionnaire, questions, looking at the question, and trying to circle the right answer. And I'm like, what the hell did this guy just do? Like, those two were up to something. So the whole time I'm like, was I hallucinating? Because I don't take drugs, so there's obviously no way I could have been hallucinating. This was done to me by Professor Serben Dinka. He looks like one of the most innocent people at York University, right? Him and his assistant. And at the end of the exam, I submitted the exam sheet, but I wanted to ask, what was it that you two were doing in front of me? Because I blacked out. And it doesn't make sense, because I ended up circling wrong answers, and I don't understand what happened, right? So I'm looking at them. I was the last one to leave the exam. Excuse me. I'm looking at them, and I'm like, okay, what are these two up to? Like, what was that they did? Like, was it in my head? Did I really see that? And I'm staring at them, and I'm about to ask a question, And the assistant initiates gang stalking on me. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I won't even bother. Let me just go. So I left. And I ended up not attending class after that exam. I did pretty well in that exam. I think I got 100. I never showed up for class again until... But I remember emailing him. I said, Professor Serban, why are you trying to use mind control on me in class? Right? You tried to use hypnosis on me. I blacked out. And that shit gives me headache. Then he wrote a letter back to me apologizing, saying, "Oh, I'm sorry if that gives you headache, but I didn't hypnotize you, and I didn't use hypnosis on you. Maybe it's just my voice. It can hypnotize people." I said, "Your voice can hypnotize people. This was in the exam. You were not talking. You were quiet. You were standing in front of me. You and your, because of course the professor stands in front of the class, but these people fully stood in. You know, they target. You know, like they target my space where I'm located at, and stand right in front of me and just focus on me, focus staring at me, passing through, like sending energies, right? So he apologized for that and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, it gives you headaches. But you know, my voice can be quite hypnotic because you know it's monotone." Oh, he tried to give you all this foolish explanation. I have his letter in my emails. I can show it to you guys. I just posted. So I was like, okay then, hoping that okay next time he won't do it again. Come final exam. So I stopped attending his class. I only showed up for the final exam. So I'll study at home by myself. It's just informatics. So final exam again, he tries to do the same bullshit again. Tries to tap into my mind. And I'm like, this dude is what is he trying to do? Trying to get me to fail? Like, because each time I'll black, like, when I blacked out at the first time, right? I noticed I'd circled all the wrong answers. Like, from number, I think it was like number 50 to 60 or 70, right? So I'm like, what is he trying to do? Trying to make me fail the exam or what? And I remember in the very end, because he can read minds as well, right? And I remember telling him, I'm like, dude, you don't want me to fuck up your life. Like, I just started talking like that. I'm like, you know, like, I shouldn't go that far. But I remember telling him, I was like, oh, do you want me to hurt Theodore or something? Because Theodore is his son. And he was like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Then he backed off. Then I was like, I mean, obviously I wouldn't do that, but like, I need to get this asshole off my back, right? So he backed off. He looked at me and he was like, and I was like, now back off. And then the assistant, because they were trying to like do it together, like they would sort of like, um, the assistant would walk past me and he would walk the other side, and I'm like, okay, what are they up to again? Like, they were working like in cahoots, okay? And then in the end, I remember approaching the assistant. It's like, what is it with you? Why are you so obsessed with me? Every time I come around, either the health building or whenever I'm around, you come around trying to like program me and project all sorts of weird energies on me. Why are you hitting on me? And she was like, she backed off, and there was there was a white guy, like he started laughing, and I was like, yeah, she's obsessed with me, like always trying to program me and shit like that. And she was really shocked because she was like, she thought I wouldn't know what she was trying to do. So I was like, you know what, anyway, have a good one. But yeah, even professors do this shit, trying to get students to fail.